Hello, I'm Marlene Wasserman. I'm a clinical sexologist and couple and sex therapist specializing in cyber infidelity. When I began my research for my book, Cyber Infidelity, The New Seduction, I decided that I wanted to have a lived experience. So I created a profile for myself on ashleymadison.com. I created a male persona and I created a female persona. It was the first time I'd been on a dating site, so it was a new thing for me to create and write a profile. And I really had to pause to think about how I wanted to present myself. I found it quite a fascinating experience of self-reflection. I also found that I had freedom to present myself in a way that I wanted to be seen. And when I reflected, I realized it was different to how I present myself to somebody who I was meeting for the first time in real life. In real life, I would be way more cautious, I would be more guarded, I wouldn't be exposing as much about myself as I could on my profile with Ashley Madison. And there it's quite unique because it asks you specifically around your sexual tastes, which I find really fabulous because other websites don't really do that, and so you're left a little in the dark about something you really do want to know about. Self-presentation is such an important factor in getting you to win people on a dating site. You know that your picture has to be there and there has to be a certain look to that picture, but also how you describe yourself, the words that you use. And what I learned from all my research with Ashley Madison was that language and the use of words is so important in seducing us. And in that very seduction, cyber infidelity can happen. The language seduces you into believing that you are somebody that you may not be, or that perhaps you are. And perhaps because you can be more authentic in how you present yourself online, when you create your profile and when you're chatting with somebody, that keeps you online chatting, because just maybe you feel more real in that self-presentation online than you do in your real life. I want you to think about that. Do you present yourself online differently to the way that you present yourself in a real life situation? Imagine meeting somebody in both situations. What are the things that you would share about yourself when you meet? What are the things you choose to talk about compared to what you talk about online? And I'm guessing that you're going to find, just as I did, that because of the freedom you experience, because of that AAA engine of being anonymous and having accessibility and having the affordability to linger longer in that space, you're going to disclose much more about yourself and therefore be very vulnerable to falling into the trap of cyber infidelity. Buy my book on Amazon.com or in any good bookstore, and follow me on Facebook and find me on Twitter.